Prague has so many different neighborhoods. Some are historical, some completely new, some still have that good old socialist vibe, but at least they're a bit cheaper. Today we'll focus on some expat-friendly spots. Hi, my name is Vojtěch Vaněk, I'm the founder of Vaněk Real Estate, and today I'm going to walk you through 4 Prague neighborhoods perfect for non-Czech speakers living here or planning to. Each of the neighborhoods has its own perks, suited for different people. I'll break that down in each part. Now the first 3 neighborhoods I'm going to be talking about are slightly above Prague's average price. The reason's quite simple, that's where most expats live. But if you're looking for something cheaper, stay until the end. The 4th neighborhood offers, in my opinion, great value for expats at a reasonable price. And if you're an expat living in Prague, I'm curious. Leave a comment below and tell me where you live and what makes your neighborhood good or bad. Now before we dive into the specific neighborhoods, I want to paint a big picture first. I, and I'm sure many would agree, see Prague as a very expat-friendly city no matter where you settle. There's around 350,000 expats living here currently, and they're spread across every neighborhood virtually. If you go buy groceries, you might hit some language bumps, but otherwise most people under the age of 40 speak English well enough to communicate with you. And I feel like Prague is very Western oriented, and I'm sure most expats would agree. So even if you pick a different neighborhood that I'm suggesting, I'm sure you will do fine even if you don't speak a word of Czech. With that in mind, let's jump in. Now the first neighborhood will not be very surprising to anyone at least a little bit familiar with Prague. It is Vinohrady. Honestly, not just expats, but virtually everyone wants to live here. This is an absolutely gorgeous neighborhood with beautiful buildings and lots of everything you can imagine. Cafes, restaurants, parks, beautiful squares, and so on. Also, one of the best hospitals in the country is located here. It's called Královské Vinohrady. Vinohrady is a residential area that's outside the tourist city spots, but it's still very close to the absolute center. If you take the metro, you'll get to the city center in 5 minutes. The best areas are around metro stations Náměstí Míru and Jiřího z Poděbrad. I know Jiřího z Poděbrad is not really pronounceable to English speakers, so you can just call it GZP as most expats do. But if you're planning to live around these metro stations, just be prepared that it's very expensive. These are one of the most expensive parts of Prague. If you want to go a little cheaper, the area farther from the center around Flora and Želivského metro stations are slightly less expensive but still very good. Honestly, if you walk around Vinohrady right now, you can hear more English than Czech. Many expats live here. Next up is one of my personal favorites, Karlín. Now about 25 years ago, Karlín used to be very bad, but now it's one of the best. It has undergone a total transformation and is now a very hip, thriving and fully renovated neighborhood. Many expats settle here, and it's home to numerous IT companies and startups. Karlín splits into 2 very different areas. The older part with beautiful maintained buildings, and the newer part closer to the river, which is modern and still growing. It's now one of Prague's pricier neighborhoods, with prices still on the rise, but it's well worth it. Just 5 minutes from the city center by metro, it's super convenient. And just like Vinohrady, Karlín has many trendy cafes and restaurants, making it a lively social spot for both Czechs and expats. Now let's move to the other side of the river, to Dejvice. Dejvice is another neighborhood that is well sought after by expats, especially families. It is a bit farther from the center than the previous neighborhoods, but it's still very close, about 15 minutes by metro. Now the biggest perk of Dejvice is that there are a number of very good international schools nearby, such as Park Lane, the International School of Prague, and Riverside School. There's also many university students around, as Dejvice is home to one of the biggest universities in the Czech Republic, the Czech Technical University. And if you move a little farther from the main streets of Dejvice, it's a very calm and quiet neighborhood that is, in my opinion, very good for families. Property prices here are comparable to Karlín, but I would choose Dejvice if you're looking for a calmer, family-friendly experience. Now the 3 neighborhoods I just described are quite expensive, even by Prague standards. But my 4th recommendation, Vršovice, is a bit cheaper yet still a solid neighborhood. Now it is true that it's a little farther from the city center and lacks metro stations. But the connections are still very good. There's plenty of tram and train stations that will get you to the center in minutes. You can also get to Vinohrady very quickly, as it's just up the hill. Overall, Vršovice is a typical residential neighborhood in Prague. Reasonably priced, calm, away from the tourists, and family-friendly. It's definitely a smart pick if you want value for your money. So to sum it all up, if you're after one of the top neighborhoods with lots of expats, pick Vinohrady. If you want the hip side of town, choose Karlín. If you need a family-friendly spot with great schools nearby, go for Dejvice. And if you want to go easier on your wallet but still get solid value, go with Vršovice. And that wraps it up. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you find your perfect Prague neighborhood. If you need assistance with Prague real estate, whether you're buying, selling, need property management, or legal or tax support, we do it all and we'll be happy to connect. You can book a free online consultation with me or reach out by email or phone. All info is in the description below. And please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I'll see you next time.